What's going on? What's happening? Just kind of like on pause a little bit, see if I can get people to join up. Let me see if I can send the link up. All right. This is gonna be a fair use. It's gonna be part of the subject. Let me see. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Xtina. ¿Qué pasó, chica? ¿Cómo está? Hey, Blood Moon. ¿Cómo estuvo el día de independencia? I know that there was Independence Day, Dominican Independence Day. Okay, but which one? Which one of the Independence Days was it? Because I know that there are like three of them. I'm not that well versed on you guys' history like that, but I understand that there are like um three different Independence Days. Maybe you can enlighten me on that. Okay. Yeah, I had a chance to interact with a couple of friends that I have down there, and they were telling me that yeah, there were festivities, and they were showing me pictures of their little girls with the with the with the dresses and all, looking so cute. So I'm kind of like standing by to see if I can get more people to come in, and I can get kind of like commentary on the subject. Uh, Basically, if you guys have been on YouTube at all for any significant amount of time, there is always this talk about the whole submission thing on the part of women. I know that I'm very late to that party to talk about that, and I assure you, I'm not gonna be getting on on some tirade about it. That's not what I'm doing. It's kind of like I was using a bit of a triggering title to see if I could get a reaction um, as to whether women of today, at least, if women of today should be submitting. The whole submission thing. Ugh. I know that it can be triggering. I'm aware of that. So that's kind of like why I'm going over that. And there is one instance, there is a certain instance in which I do believe that women should submit to a man, as much as you don't like to hear it. There is one particular instance in which that should be happening. Okay. Bloodman says that is not a subject for Hispanics, Ramon. We share everything in this household. Rich people have mates. We poor have to do the 50-50. Okay. Hey, Denise. What's going on? Hey, Morena Mami. What's happening? You have to be with something to submit to. Yeah, but would it be happening when it comes to certain women of today? Because there are women of today, of these days, that they actually expect a man to submit. They expect a man to do the submission. And I'm only mentioning that word here on this specific on this specific broadcast, if you can call it that. But anybody who knows me just a little bit knows that I don't really use that word. I mean, I just don't do it because that's not even how I was brought up. But for the sake of argument, because it's a subject that gets bounced around so much, yeah, I'm mentioning it on this one, on this instance. Submit how? If I have to ask for submission, it tells me the man is lacking in something. Okay. There could be instances in which they will have to do the asking because they may have been in a situation where they couldn't ask for it before. Maybe things are not the same. Sadly, our roles are defined in our cultures. Yeah. I know that. I know that, Morena. But I'm talking about kind of like in the context of the United States because there is kind of like a battle of the genders. If one can even say that word anymore, but because we live in this country, I don't think that is out of place for us to mention anything about that. Because you see, in all cultures, us Hispanics, there are Hispanic Americans, and Hispanic Americans are more directly defined or influenced by what can be seen as predominant in the culture, in the general culture of the United States. And even where I'm from, in Puerto Rico, because it's not its own country, then it is more vulnerable to influence from the United States, at least other countries, because they have more of an they actually have independence, then they can define better how they're gonna carry themselves. But in Puerto Rico, we are a little more vulnerable. I mean, if you look into the history of the island, and there was a time where they were trying to eliminate the Spanish language, and definitely they were trying to eliminate the flag. They were trying to get rid of all of that, but they were trying to force that. But there was push against that, and we were able to keep those two things because they have over a period of what 300 years, the language has become so intrinsic to our culture that it couldn't just be eliminated. And there was a time when the Puerto Rican flag wasn't allowed in Puerto Rico, and we had to pledge allegiance to the Star Spangled Banner. I remember my grandma telling me about that she had to do that in her time because she was around before the establishment of the so-called Commonwealth, the Commonwealth that was never real. You don't have to ask for it. Hey, Rakim, what's going on? Yeah, I'm gonna be dropping the link in a moment. See if one of you guys can wanna come up. Okay. Let's see what this. Okay. I'm dropping the link. Feel free to come on up. Because I'm kind of talking more about in the context of the United States because this is where we are at, and there is more of a debate about it. The thing is that one could be thinking about it being just one demographic. It's not just one demographic. No, I doubt that. I don't think it's just one demographic because there is one demographic that is talking about it the most. Yes, but I don't think that is that one demographic. I mean, it is across a couple of demographics. So I'm gonna be bringing up my first guest, ladies. We need the ladies on the panel. Any of you, feel free to come on up. What's going on, Rakim?
Shout out to my boy Ramon. What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Not doing too bad considering that. I mean, it's still we're almost out of February, yes, but at least the climate down here is starting to become to getting back to normal, where I'm not dealing with those cold weather temperatures that our man Jose loves so much.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
aside from that, it's not too bad, not too bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. I saw that you was doing a live today. I'm currently working, but I wanted to make sure I stopped through for a minute to show some support and get up here and just put my little 2 cents in. And
Yes.
what was what was the name of the title once again?
Oh, okay. No, the main title, it can be flexible when it comes to the subjects, but the main title is about the whole thing about submission. When women are actually supposed to submit, and I was gonna uh, give you the one particular situation in which a woman should submit to the man, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that because I have kind of like the bookmark and there is a text that is involved with it. What's going on, Jose? Okay, I mean, so you were saying, Rakim.
Yeah, as far as like, I don't even like to use the word submission when it comes to women because it just took it on such a negative connotation now. You
No, I
know,
know.
to them, submission sounds like slavery. So I use cooperation. I just are you willing to cooperate, with a man? But mostly it's a lot. It's women out here. It's certain women out here that if they see a man in a situation where he's the leader, or they see a man in a position where he's actually taking care of everything, they'll actually bust a U-turn and go the other way because they don't want to be under, somebody else's leadership where they feel that they can't do whatever they want to do, or go about things in the way that they want to go about things, especially if they're used
Hmm.
to doing things that way.
Okay. No, no, I understand. I understand. I mean, it's just it's kind of like me teasing the ladies about that because I know that they don't like it. Giving something to talk about. But what I was referring
Absolutely.
is that the one instance in which women should be submitted to the men in their life is if they are church going Christians. That's what I'm referring to. If they are church going Christians, they should submit because it is mentioned. Let me see if I can share an image because I'm not very good at this.
Uh, excuse me. Actually, it's found, I believe, in chapter 5. There's other verses in the Bible when it talks about when being submissive to men. But that's more in terms of a husband and wife relationship. Good evening, guys. And in
Good evening.
fact, I'm going to be having my own topic regarding American women on my channel at 9:30 Eastern.
Okay. No, but I don't know if you can see the image because I'm sharing a screen. I don't know if you can see
Yes,
what
I
I'm
can.
looking at. Okay. Yeah. I think you're referring to fifth of Ephesians, in which it specifically says, it says, "Wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, his body, and is himself is Savior." I can assure you guys, I'm not gonna get into religion because I have my own reservations about religion. religion, but this is the exception that I was talking about. And that's something I know that to some degree this is also a thing in Islam, but in Islam I think that there is a big responsibility on the part of the husband to have something for the wife to submit to. He does have a responsibility, and there is nothing wrong with that. Um, so I do believe that those are kind of like the instances and the occasions in which it should be fine. It should be fine to kind of like submit to the leadership when it comes to the leadership and the guidance. But the man has to be raised properly. That I will agree with. So, so ladies, don't get all mad at me. I mean, there is a reason why I brought that up. Me myself, because of the way that I was brought up, I was never told anything about demanding that a woman submit to me. I mean, that's just not how I was brought up. I think I have already mentioned that before. But this is the one instance, and since we are now in Lent, because I'm starting to see people with the crosses on their foreheads, we are in or Cuaresma, as we call it in Spanish. Uh, that I figured that this could be kind of like a subject that I could touch on. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If you follow, if you're Christian or Catholic and you follow the holy book and you are supposed to actually follow your man. I mean, it's right there in the book, but a lot of people say that there are certain things, but a lot of those traditional values have gone out the window because a lot
Mhm.
of us, we just live our lives day to day, so we don't understand like a lot of the programming that happens on a day-to-day basis, commercials, television, social media. So over time, people's mentality changes, or a younger generation's mentality changes, and we're stuck, on how things once were. And it changes so quickly, it'll make your head spin. And you'll be like, man, what
Mhm.
the hell happened? This wasn't like this 10 years ago. This wasn't like this 15 years ago. What's going on? And sometimes the influence within the world can be more stronger than the influence in your home. You can raise your kids to, you know, um, you know, follow the same values and morals that you got from your parents or your grandparents. But once they get out in the world and you put millions and millions of dollars behind an engine that's hitting them left and right with these different messages, sometimes that can alter their way of thinking. Still, what you said would be in the back of their mind, but they'll be kind of like still following what's going on out in the world, or you can't do this, and if I can't really follow the way my mother or my father taught me and be accepted by the rest of society or my peers. So you have certain people that'll look for that balance. Like I'm still gonna, you know, do certain things and keep certain things from my parents because I don't want to disappoint them because that's not how I was brought up. But I'm gonna try to follow what's going on out in society as well. And sometimes that'll be, it'll be stronger. Like it's a lot of people that grew up in a patriarchal household. Let's say they're raising their daughters. They told their daughters to, they had a stern father. They go off to college. They pick up, feminism and woman studies. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
their father, who was the rock of the family, who led, who was strong, all of a sudden he
Mhm.
becomes a tyrant. And because they've been brainwashed and say, well, your dad shouldn't have did this, or your dad was too strong, or he yelled at you too many times, and and all that takes is 1, 2 generations to change.
Yeah,
What's going on, Armando?
I'm chilling. How you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Just kind of like sharing
Good
in
evening.
points of view
Good
about the
evening.
subject. Yeah, yeah. No, I know I see what you mean, Joaquin. I mean, in the last few years that I have come to understand from what I have read that colleges and universities in this country have become kind of like centers of learning, but more for women, and they cater to them. Maybe there is more of a business. There is more business, more profitable for college to cater to
All right,
Uh,
but I got a question though, and it
uh-huh.
might sound stupid, right?
Uh,
Why is it that most feminists don't shave? That's what I want to know.
because they're lazy. Laziness for the same reason that they tend to be big and out of shape and a hot mess because they're lazy. They forget basic upkeep. I mean, when it comes to the us
I
men, we
think
have to
okay.
shave and keep and get haircuts
I
if
just
we want
wanted
to look
I just
decent.
wanted I just wanted
Mhm.
to add one thing to that, Ramon, as well. But one thing too that's where that's confusing a lot of women, because a lot of women will follow those ideological I'm sorry, those ideological views, but at the same time it's still that natural, um I don't know how can I say it, that natural genetic makeup or wanting to be a woman. So some of the times they'll be torn because they'll be like, oh well, men are tyrannical, men are this and that, I don't want to follow men, but at the same time they're still attracted to those, type of men. Like they still yearn for those type of men as much as they, will want to deny it, because they still, have that, you can't change Mother Nature. They still got that genetic makeup as a woman to know that you are supposed to be with a man. You're supposed to be under a man's, leadership if he's a proper leader, if he's been raised to be a proper leader, or he's been raised to be a man. So
All right, this is one thing I just got to say about certain about feminism. Like when it comes to feminism, okay, I support that women should have rights and everything like that. But what I don't support is toxic femininity or feminism, or whatever the case may be. You
No, that's the
know,
thing, because those are two different things. I believe in toxic feminism, which is the radicalism, the radicalization of feminism. Feminism by itself is not necessarily bad, but the radicalization of it is what is
what up,
toxic.
Irby?
Yeah. But toxic femininity, I will need somebody to
Okay.
explain to me what that is. I don't think that is a thing.
I'm just gonna go around and say this: two
Mhm.
words that describe toxic femininity: blood moon, and that's it. And
What
that's all I gotta
woman?
say.
What?
Blood moon. That's toxic
Uh,
femininity in the flesh.
No, no, no,
I'm
no,
sorry, but
no,
I had to
no.
say it.
That's not good. Let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. Okay? First of all,
no, no, no. We're
the
not
fact
going to
of the
be
matter
doing
is,
personal attacks here.
okay. First of all, okay. First of all, for women to be submissive to men, men has got to play their role correctly, okay, and be the
I
type of
agree.
person that a woman would want to submit. Okay, which means that he is responsible and he's looking after the wife's or his girlfriend's interests. He's looking after the interests of the family, okay, and being the responsible head of the household. If a man is not going to be responsible in all their dealings as far as himself and his relationship with his lifetime companion, no self-respecting woman should submit to a man like that. So when we're talking about women being submissive to men, we're not talking about the Pookies and the Ray Rays. We're talking about people, men who are mature mentally, spiritually, psychologically, who is able to provide a nurturing environment and a protective environment for his better half. Now, as the other part, why women don't shave, we understand there are different concepts of beauty, and there might be some concepts of beauty which we're going to disagree with. But I mean, that's how it is. But the fact of the matter is, if I, as a man, want who my significant other to be submissive to me, I got to be a positive role model for her. If I'm not going to be a positive role model for her, she has no business being submissive to me or any such man like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going through the comments.
Yeah,
No,
but
we're
I
on
got
subject,
something to
bro, man.
say. I
Yeah,
got
what's up?
something to say with that. But what if you have women that are raising their sons to
To
be
be
like
tempting
that?
themselves.
To be, I mean, for instance, it's been known like what was going on with Amber Rose, right? When we was
Yep.
growing up, let's say, if from our era, let's say if any of our mothers was in adult films or something like that, hypothetically speaking, I would be, if somebody found that out in my school, I'd be so fucking embarrassed. I'm like, I can't go to this school. I got to
No, no,
transfer.
no, no, no,
No, it
not
happens.
even.
It
Yeah,
happens. Many
That
of
that
the
that that
OnlyFans.
that will just let go a whole bunch of fist fights.
it's
Or
gonna let go, and then I'm gonna get jumped. More than likely, I'm gonna get jumped. And but like, you'll be like, I can't fucking go to this school. Oh, excuse my language.
And
But
the thing is
you'll be
that
like, you.
to a degree, to a great degree, happens with some of these OnlyFans so-called models that are showing everything, and they have kids going to school. That is actually happening. I have read and I have heard of instances of there are kids in school that they have mothers that are all over on OnlyFans showing it all, and um the classmates of the sons or the kids catch wind of that, and
yep,
they start connecting
the dots.
connecting the dots, and they realize that the so and so's mom is on OnlyFans, and anybody with a cheap subscription, whatever the subscription is, can see her mama naked.
No,
and
no, no.
and
You
some
want
of
to know what's
And what's
messed up?
messed up,
kids are
some of them,
You
some,
suicidal.
want to know what's messed up?
and you know what's messed up about that? Some of them might
Mhm.
get their dad's or their mama's credit card just to go in there and say, let's see if it's them, and then go and spread that back to, back to school. But I just wanted to make this last point, Don, and I'm gonna let you finish. Also, like, she's raising her children, her son, to defend her nonsense on doing that when it comes to kids going at him with school, and say she's raising her son to be a male feminist. Can't no traditional woman or a woman that yearns for that masculinity, she ain't gonna be able to do nothing with that boy. Wiz, get your son. Try to do whatever you can to get your boy. You know what? I'm gonna put one strike against you because you had no business having a child with it to begin with, but you better try to get your boy, my dude.
I mean, if you actually look at it, when you talk about Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose, right? I mean, at the same time, hey, he actually thought he was in love, but guess what? It didn't happen. But now he's a better man. Now he has to go around and be the man of the show his children what a man is, instead of smoking weed all the time with Snoop Dogg. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, so this comment by Denise, guys, let's think why women turn into 304s because of the same reason men turn into dogs, fatherlessness. The problem is going to always start and end with y'all. Yes, it's always our fault. It's always our fault. I mean, the whole thing about fatherlessness, yes, it is a problem. Yes, it is an important factor, but that whole thing that only goes so far. That's an explanation that only goes so far. It also has to do with the direct upbringing. I mean, because it's still one can be raised by a single mother and still grow up to be a decent person. I mean, that doesn't being raised by a single mother doesn't automatically mean being a dog. And we were not generalizing about the whole thing about the example with Amber Rose. We're well aware that Amber Rose is an extreme example. I mean, but going back to the whole thing about the submission, yeah, there are many of the modern women that do submit, and they shouldn't be submitting to the Pookies, Ray Rays, Chats, Brats, Tyrons, etc. But many women do. And the nice guys that are actually upstanding men, they get passed over, put in the friend zone, being
Yeah,
seen
that's true.
as a backup plan.
Ramon, Ramon, uh, Ramon, it's a given fact that men are the cause of cancer. We're the cause of of all these illnesses. It seems like every crisis. It is men's fault. It's men's fault. What about individual accountability? Okay, and that's something that both males and females are guilty of. But then again, it is easier to blame the man for everything because it's
All right,
our
but
fault. We caused cancer. We caused a hurricane
Yeah,
to
that's
occur
no,
in
I
Japan
get
and
it. I
what
get
have
it.
you.
all right, but I got something to say though about Amber Rose, right? And this is not to take away what she does, whatever, or anything like that. But you have to admit that there's some women, right, that they're actually emotionally and spiritually traumatized, that they actually become an Amber Rose or something like that. Because not well, to my knowledge, I heard that Amber Rose was violated when she was a young woman. So with that said, and then on top of it, the way that she's saying that she do not like men or anything like that, sometimes fe- when people don't see it, some of these females who come out to be the 304s, or they come out to be the bad B or whatever the case may be, there's some trauma behind it. A lot of people are not looking at that.
I mean, how can you not look at it? I mean, a lot of the times their trauma, it goes like we're always told about their trauma. Anytime we're always told that this could have happened, that could have happened. But a lot of men go through trauma too, but they don't get no excuses. I mean, they don't like nobody really make no excuses for them. They still are expected to go and be productive citizens, whether they go through traumatic experiences or not. So I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I definitely understand. That's why I think a lot of people should seek counseling if you're going through certain things, because at a certain point when you become an adult, self-destructive behavior or destructive behavior amongst other people or hurting other people, it's just like there's no excuses after a while.
No, we don't get to make excuses. We don't get to make excuses. I mean, we
They sure
men,
don't.
we men, we are held accountable. It doesn't matter how much trauma, how much bullshit do we have to deal with. No matter how unfair things can be to us, we're held accountable. I mean, it's just society provides more of a caution for women to mess up, and she can say, "I was young," or or I was oppressed, abused, etc. They can say a number of things, and they can be excused and believed. We don't get to say those excuses because we're gonna be called names. See that's the difference.
Facts. You say you dealt with trauma, quit crying, Paul.
Yeah,
That's the first thing.
it's like
You know,
you're a man. Put your pants in their place and move on. Don't be crying. You only cry when your mama dies. Something along those lines. I mean, we can express emotion. Never ever do that, guys. Never ever do that to your woman because she will use it against you. I had to learn that one the hard way.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I had to learn that the hard way. But you know what I had? But you know what I did after that? Revenge. So therefore, certain people could be gaslighters and everything like that. At the end of the day, gaslighters get set on fire, and that's for anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yep.
Yo, shout out to Kai Shao. How you doing?
Hey, Kichelle, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
What's up? What's up? What's
yeah.
up, Kishel?
Yeah, good
Yeah, I
evening.
can't wait until I go.
Perhaps some of the ladies could join the panel and express their point of view.
Yeah, yeah. Just put the link. Let me see. I was trying to get the link on.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. The link. didn't add to the. Oh, okay. Yeah. The link is in the chat. So yeah, come on up.
So
Yeah, guys, I got to drop down. I just wanted to stop and show some support and everything for a quick minute. Shout out to you, Ramon. Shout out to
Yeah.
all of the fellas on the panel. I got to get ready to head out. Peace.
All right. Take it easy out there.
all right, take care.
Yeah. Yesterday I was yesterday I was just chilling with the wife, drinking some Presidente and everything like that. So, I celebrate my day my way, so that's how I do it.
What's up, NK?
Hey, what's up, Ramon?
Yo, what up, MK? How
Hey,
you doing?
MK, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I'm out of the store, so if y'all can hear it, I'll mute myself. I'm just out of the store.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's a little interference, but yeah, we can hear you. Okay. MK, are you out there? Oh,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just muting myself for right now.
Okay. Got you.
Yo, MK,
Huh?
congratulations.
On what? Oh yeah. Thank you.
Anytime.
Are you getting
Yes,
any sleep?
congratulations.
Huh?
You getting any sleep, MK?
A little bit.
Okay.
But everything's all good. So
Okay, that's good. It's a wonderful thing.
shoot. Let me mute up real quick.
All right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, who Amber Rose got?
I don't know what you got.
What do you mean, Denise?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
just
he's
I just
talking
love
about Rakim.
putting on garb that angers people. That is funny.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I just love making people angry. But guess what? I don't care. This is 2003, the year of the dawn. Now, with that said, about Amber Rose, it's like at the end of the day, men got to be strong, and you have to detect a 304 when you see one. If you talk to a female and she curses like in 5 minutes or anything like that, if she shows you any side of ignorance, you just gotta let it be. I mean, I didn't look at me now. I'm married.
That's harder than that's easier said than done, Don. Because most of these dudes like toxic women. As much as we like to say we don't want 304s, like there's something that we do have to be honest with ourselves with, and that's the fact that we keep chasing and making mothers of women who don't deserve. So as much as we want to keep going back and forth with women all the time, it's up for some of these dudes to start practicing common sense and stop making kids. Because as much as we like, oh, the women, we can't keep going. Our bodies are temples too. We're important too. So if you're giving your seed to any and every female you with, how important are you? Not very much at all. Like, I know people don't believe in the whole monogamy thing, but you shouldn't even be out here. The system is different than back in the day.
Oh yes, it
In
is.
Bible days or something, people could make multiple kids and take care of them, or they could make multiple kids and it'd be all right. We can't do that now. So all that like talk about like let our seeds flow and and just spread it anyway. Like how you better be ready to
And then
pay
on
for
top of it, the child support grows. That's all I got to
yeah,
say.
so this is a whole different time and era. So all that talk about you gotta sow your seeds. You better be ready to pay those seeds. Pay for those seeds.
On my dad's side, you know, my grandmother, she had 14 kids. So
well,
that was the olden days.
yeah. I mean, there was a
Yeah,
time. There was a
but
time back.
sorry.
Yeah, but there was a time back in the island
I think
when the people that were living in the countryside will be having a kid every year because the maybe they had a radio. They didn't have TV. They didn't have much, so it was work and make babies. So they will be having. There was an old joke that you're Puerto Rican when you have like 30 cousins and things like that. It's not so much like that anymore. I mean, people and people on the island aren't popping babies out like that. But yeah,
It's
that
like
was kind of like more
it's like
associated
on my,
with the
it,
poor folk. Hmm.
it's because of that, and you know, older
excuse
generations
me.
and stuff. All right.
What's up, Jose?
So
In fact, I remember 2 years ago, Denise on her platform, she spoke about how much it costs to raise a child, which was, I think it was from the age the child was born to when the child reaches 18. It costs like about $250,000 to raise one child. So you can just imagine if you have like 3 or 4. If you're talking about 4 children, to properly raise them, it's gonna cost you $1 million through the lifespan of those 4 children. And that was in 2021. I hate to imagine how much that's going to be for today. And the fact of the matter is, and Denise is making a good point, you can't expect women to hold traditional role if you're not going to be responsible enough to hold your role as well.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not saying that at all. That the men should be holding up their end of the bargain. I mean, again, yes, there are guys that that should act better when it comes to what they do, who they get together with. Uh, they're not having that much of a guidance. Okay, maybe the dad wasn't there, but is the mom really that useless that they couldn't drop a couple of hints as to what will be best when it comes to getting with a woman? I mean, she has influence too. Should be able to build that kitchen themselves. All right. Fulana la cubana. Hey, Fulana, what's going on, ma?
Wow.
Okay, I mean, right. But by the same token, don't be demanding tradition and chivalry from us if you're gonna be strong and independent, and a man can't tell you nothing. Because it's very convenient. There are certain women that they demand
and then talk
tradition
about
and chivalry, but they want to be strong and independent.
and when they talk about yeah, and they talk about I don't need to bring anything to the table because I am the table.
Okay.
Look, there's the problem with a lot of that conversation is like a lot of women assume there's a lot of dust buckets out here and a lot of no ain't shit dudes. We get that. But
yep.
the minute we start distracting from the fact that you guys don't bring much to the table either, it's the fact that well they don't bring much, they don't do nothing, they don't stop bitching about it. There's a whole lot of ain't shit women here. Just like there's a whole lot of ain't shit men.
I mean, yeah, I know. So
Yeah, but the women are complaining about the men they like. and that they're bums, but those are the guys that they like. That's what these women are complaining about. Because if they actually get with a dude that has something going for himself, but they don't want him because he's not that cute, he's nerdy, he's lame, but he might have a good thing going on professionally. But they don't want him. They don't want him because that's not attractive. That's not exciting. I mean, the bums that is always on the street, those are apparently more exciting.
It's like what I say when I'm talking to Denise. It's like I say something about men and women. Whether you're a man or a woman, if you have relationships and all of them have not lasted, like you can't keep any lasting relationship, and I'm not even talking about years, you should be able to, with time, go through phases. Yes, things happen, but you should be able to maneuver with the phases. There's going to be times where you guys don't like each other, but the problem is a lot of men and women say a lot of things, and they like to cheer on this I'm good with being lonely shit. But to me, it shows that you have no relationship IQ when every time you get in relationships, it ends and you can't make them last past a certain point. A lot of men and women don't have the ability to make things last past certain periods. And it's always and then sometimes when it's always ends, it's always somebody else's part. Oh, we didn't grow. He didn't want to grow. When at some point it's just you two. It's you two. It could be both of you. You have to evaluate that. And a lot of women don't like to evaluate it because it's easier to just say it's always on the dudes. Dudes do it too, but mostly in today's age, we still hear women doing it too. They can fuck up a whole relationship and it ain't their fault.
Oh, it's always the man's fault. Yeah, I know. No, but I mean, you can't say that too loud, MK. Remember, you're gonna get in trouble at home. But that whole thing, this part,
I don't care.
No, but this part that Denise was talking about, that's a shame. That's a shame because that's just such common knowledge for a man to be able to change a tire, change the oil, change spark plugs. I'll do that. I mean, I'm not a mechanic at all. I know next to nothing, but I can do those basic things.
Me personally, I know how to set up a bed and all the other stuff. I do not know anything about cars because I don't drive. So,
okay. Yeah, no, but don't you have to?
I mean,
No, I understand because of the city that you guys come from, that you didn't really need a car like that. I get it. I'm not holding that against you, but Armando, you're not in New York anymore, right? Don't you have to kind of like move around in vehicles, or you still have like a good train system that you can move around?
I mean, in Philadelphia, the train is all right and everything like that. And then I take my bus from Philly to New York or anything like that, but I'm still a pedestrian. So hopefully by this year I'll learn how to drive.
Okay. Oh, I see. What. Okay, let me see what I was. If I say looking for a 20-year-old, I think 50 and 60. I'm not saying those things.
No, I'm not. Okay, first of all, my girlfriend is not 20 years old. She's 36 or 37. Okay. And really, I'm looking for someone to my age. I'm 60.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The average American male today don't even know how to put IKEA furniture together. Isn't IKEA furniture supposed to be like owner user friendly? Isn't that something that even kids can put together? From what I understand, I don't shop for IKEA, but yeah, I have put together pieces of furniture, tables, things like that. If the man is physically attractive and has a great life, women will throw themselves at them. Okay, well, the women that have kind of like a more stable mindset, that are in they can understand that it's not just a man's money, but maybe the man's how the man presents himself. He has kind of like the whole package and all of that. But there are some of these women that want excitement, and the excitement doesn't necessarily come from a stable man who has the security. It has to be from some dude that can provide the excitement, but he's probably somebody who's gonna go into prison because of it. So yeah, there are women that do that too.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, but Armando, it's not too late. It's not too late. You're not an old man, so you can still get your driving on.
Uh,
Well, I'm about to be 40 like in a couple of days, so you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel old.
Nah, 40 is not old. It's not
Well-
old. You're not there yet.
All right,
Mhm.
well,
but I feel
I'm
old.
60 years old, so you can just. I'm 60 years old, so some people, I'm like 1 foot in the grave already.
Yeah, Blood Moon, what women are you talking about? Okay. Morena, my son has learned to be handy because I had him do certain things now with his car. He is doing small repairs. Well, that is just about everything. There is a YouTube video for it. So he has that within his reach. So for a lot of things, I look up YouTube videos when there is something that I don't know how to do it or I don't understand. I try to take it up on myself to learn it. No, I mean we're talking about we're not even talking about women that are that young. There are women that are past the age of 30 that are still kind of like uh, trying to party, run the streets, and all of that. Okay, let me add back MK. All right. No, I agree. Morena. I mean, we are in the information age, so people can actually uh, learn to do certain things. A man has to bring a certain level of comfort to our lives for us to rest in our femininity. If they bring more work and stress, they can go to hell. Okay, but Dennis, you don't think that can go both ways? Because if a man has something going on and he is living by himself and he's focusing on what he's doing professionally, well, if a man is going to be taking on a woman, it also depends on the woman, the mentality that she has. Because if a woman is only going to complicate the man's life, then what does the man need her for? It's like there are women that take it to the extreme. Where maybe you, Denise, maybe you, when you say you resting in your femininity, then you do it precisely that. But there are women that they say that they want to rest in their femininity, but what they really mean is they just want to sit down on their ass and not do shit. I mean, not being an asset. They just want to be a burden, a liability. I mean, grown men don't need that. Might as well he stays alone. Okay, let me see.
Mhm.
Let me see what I was at. Okay. Do you think that those are most women, or are you just attracted? No, I don't attract that type. I don't attract that type. That wasn't. I'm not going by when it comes to that. The women that they just want to run the streets and all of that. I'm not talking about that. That's what I had to deal with, and I'm not dealing with that at all. I mean, but I'm hearing so much about kind of like the slightly younger dudes that are having to deal with this.
They're on drugs. They're perked out on on 30 milligrams of perks. I
Okay.
said it.
Okay. And no, but there are kind of like slightly younger dudes that are dealing with these women that they might be they want a man to be there for them and provide for them and all of that, but they want to be able to still be party girls and run the streets and all of that.
All right, and you know what you have to call those women? They're predators.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and to me, I am not, how should I say, expert. I'm just gonna give you some life experience about it. You got some older women, right, who are naturally predators, right? So therefore, they don't want a man that is like, you know, their age or anything like that because they had bad experiences. So what they think is that they're gonna go with a younger man, and while they could go and try to dupe the younger man into certain stuff, they could go around and have the life that they want, and younger men will not be none the wiser on the stupid crap that they still do. But then that's just my thing about it.
Okay. Okay.
Look,
So
when everything is said and done, I mean, both male. I'm sorry. When everything is said and done, both males and females have made poor choices regarding who they wish to get into a relationship, and we all have to do our best to vet the who will be our significant others very well.
Yeah,
okay.
that's completely true. You have to be willing to vet. You know, um, for the fellas out there, I just say don't deal with no bullshit. Man. It's like, you know, because it's a lot of dudes out there that be like, they be weak, they'll compromise because she look good, she got a nice body, she got those curves and everything, and they'll turn around and compromise their integrity by doing that. And you saw the red flags from the beginning. So as long as you don't put yourself in that predicament, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. But it's getting to the point too. This economy is going. Somebody gonna break. Somebody gonna break for a lot of these women out here because this economy is too messed up right now to be, you know, for a lot of people to be as shallow as they once were.
Yeah, cooperation is gonna have to be the key. Now that's something that I will repeat. I mean, there's gonna have to be cooperation. That whole notion that that the man has to run the entire relationship, that's just not very realistic. What's going on, Radical?
Yo, what's going on to everybody? What's
Yo,
up?
what up,
Hey,
Radical?
Brad.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Brad?
What's up? What's up to
Yeah.
everybody up in the panel in the chat? What's going on, guys?
You know, we're just chilling. Yo, happy belated Independence Day, bro.
Yeah. Happy belated Independence Day, bro.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you
bro.
too, Armando. I was mentioning that to the ladies earlier, that yesterday was kind of like one of the Independence Days. I know that there
Yep.
are like three of them, but the main one, the more celebrated one, was yesterday. So
Yeah,
congratulations, guys.
yeah.
Thanks.
We kicked the invaders out. I'm just playing. No. So so let me try to understand what the topic is. Is
Mhm.
that women should be submissive to a man, or what's the case?
No. The premise was kind of like leaving the title incomplete, saying that women should submit to men. But I was only referring to the kind of like the more church-like, the church-going,
Yeah,
Bible reading, Christian types, because the Bible does say that. There are
yeah.
passages in
It
the
does.
Bible in which does say that women should submit to their husbands. I wasn't talking about all women, because not all
Yeah.
women are like Christians like that necessarily. They read the Bible like that. So I wasn't expecting that out of every
Yeah,
every
of course.
woman. That's not what I was talking about.
But
Mhm.
it is a woman's role to submit to a leader. You know, that is a woman's role, and some women do it subconsciously, some women do it consciously, you know what I mean? So I do definitely do believe in the traditional roles and traditional gender roles. Men and women are not the same, regardless how ever these little buffoons of the LGBT want to make it that we're equal. No, no, we're not. So we are not the same. Men have a very specific role that we play, even in modern times. We still get paid more, and we still go into more dangerous jobs than women. This is a fact, So the fact that we do get paid more, that means that we are the providers. We are the people coming in, providing not only sustenance, but providing value, protection, and a roof over this female's head. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So this is our role to play. Now there's certain men, and this is what I tell men, and this is what I say that men is messing up in. A lot of men right now think that they're leaders, but in reality they're followers. There's a lot of men
Hmm.
right now flip flopping their roles because there's a lot of feminine bullshit. I'm sorry that I'm cursing. A lot of feminine bullshit right now that our men are jumping into and starting to believe. You feel me? To the point where now women are starting to wear the pants. To the
Hmm.
point where women are having these high, unexpected standards for men they never going to even get in touch with just because they got a like from that person on Instagram. You feel what I'm saying?
All
And
right,
in
all
women's
right, all right.
in what
All the guys on the panel, I want to ask y'all one thing, right? And this has nothing to do with anything, right? And this is about submission and stuff. If I happen to see a person that I just that went up and was being saying disrespectful thing towards somebody that I care for, is it a man given right just to break that man's jaw? Yes or no?
Okay, we're not gonna be talking
No,
about this
no, no,
thing
no, no, no,
anymore.
no, no. I'm just saying this because at the end of the day, a man is supposed to protect his woman, right? And should not let any man go around and say disrespectful stuff about the woman, right? So therefore, my thing is no law or anything like that. I'm just saying as man code.
Mhm.
Is it right for a man to defend his woman by breaking another man's jaw? That's all I'm asking.
Defending his woman as necessary, but going around and just because somebody looked at your woman funny and you wanna fight, you're not gonna be alive long because
Well, I'm not.
I
I'm not. I'm not.
swear.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm
I
not. I'm
swear.
not talking about that. I'm just saying if a person says something disrespectful towards the woman you love, that's all I got to say.
Mhm.
Is it is it a man given right to break that person's jaw? That's all I'm saying.
I
It's
don't know
it's
about
it's
I don't know about
it's.
that, right?
I'll
Uh-huh.
say this. I'll say this. If it's a man's given right to break his jaw, then it's his given right to defend himself. So it may be repercussions after that. Don't get me wrong. You can check him, but unless he put his hands on your wife, and it depends on where you grow up at. If you grow up in different environments or whatever, and you feel that you can take them or whatever, then I mean, by all means, do your thing. But it can be very dangerous because if you willing to take it there, he may take it a little further, and it may be, know, you know how that goes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Radical, you were saying something.
Yeah,
You finish
yeah.
what you were
Sorry,
saying.
sorry
Uh-huh.
about that. I just I don't know what happened to my phone, but let me just make it real quick. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of women out here with high standards that's unrealistic. You feel what I'm saying? And also it goes down to men enabling all of that. Now, when we're talking about submission, let's be completely honest. Women will submit to a man if they bring them value. They're not gonna submit. No woman is ever gonna submit to no dude that's working a 9 to 5 or whatever the case is. They have to build together. You feel what I'm saying? And that woman also needs to come with a submissive mindset. Because if that woman is also combative and trying to be like, nah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that and all this other stuff, then there's no reason even to be in a relationship with this woman, because now y'all not even gonna be competing to, y'all not even gonna build together. Y'all just gonna be competing of who's gonna be the leader. You feel what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
my thing is that men need to start being more masculine, and men need to start seeing what value he brings to the table, and also men need to stop with the whole fucking just going to after every other woman just because she look good. Nah, we got to see what values they bring to the table as well.
I agree with you with that because at the end of the day, if a woman could be beautiful and everything, but if she does not bring any value, she doesn't have any good home training. If you don't cook for her and she don't cook for you, if y'all don't reciprocate and help each other, at the end of the day, what is a relationship? You
Yeah.
cannot if you paying and then you can't depend on a woman if you fall on hard times, then that's not a relationship.
And I'm gonna tell you, something, and I'm gonna just get off. And I'm not trying to run your whole thing, my fault. But I'm gonna just say something real quick. This is something that my wife told me a couple of, like, I think a month ago, where me and her were talking about, traditional gender roles and all this other stuff and blah 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 blah. And she told me flat out, she says, I feel comfortable being feminine, cooking, cleaning, taking care of you because you make me comfortable in my femininity.
Mhm.
You make me comfortable in that. And to be completely honest, I didn't even know that's what I was doing. I was just being me. You feel me? But when she said that, that clicked in my head where I said, everything that some of these people were talking about is completely true. A woman is going to let you lead when they see that you are capable of leading. You can't just be speaking about leading and not showing shit. You
But
feel me?
here's the
So,
thing: it's not the bombs that's doing that. It's like a bomb. We know a bomb is incapable of leading. The conversation is being led because it's a lot of women that complain about that
and
they
the,
can't
and the,
find this and they can't
and
find that.
Rakim, those are the women. Those are the women that we should be ignoring. Those are the type of women that we should be ignoring, because those are the type of women, and there's everybody in the hood. There's all these type of women are rampant. Let's keep it 1,000, and not just black women. They're Latina women and also some white women that be doing this too. They're submissive when it comes to the white man giving them Section 8. They're submissive to the food stamp office individual. You know what I'm saying? But whenever some man wants to come in and be like, hey, yo, when are you going to get up out your ass and let's actually build something together and get up out of here? Nah, you're talking crazy. This and this and this. That was gonna start setting in. And those women are more masculine than men. We don't need all that. Those are the type of women we should be just ignoring. You feel me? And get your passport. I'm just playing. No, I'm playing. Oh, so what
But
I'm
it's
saying is,
it's one it's one problem. It's one problem. No, it's one problem though. Those are the women that's raising the next
You
generation
cut
of
off.
men.
You cut off,
That's the
Rakim.
problem. Those same.
Rakim, you cut off, bro.
You cut off. You
Okay,
said
can you
that
guys
those are the women that are raising what?
can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
The next generation of
Yes.
men, these young men that's coming up, they're the ones that's raising them. So the ones that got this type of mentality where they're not fit to be leaders or they look for a woman to take care of them or they over emotional. Those are the women that are coming out of this household. Out of these type of households, and you got a lot of women too that purposely pick a man that they know that's not in a position to lead because they don't want to be controlled. They want a masculinity switch. I'm gonna turn on this masculinity when you got me pissed that got to do with finances or different things like that. I'm gonna take care of that and control that. But you just do your part as you be my attack dog. Somebody talk crazy. You take care of me in the bedroom, and then other than that, I run everything else. That's what you got. Some women that's looking. Of course, not all,
Yeah.
but some women out there that's looking for that type of relationship.
And unfortunately, no, you're right. These are some of the men these women are raising, and I believe some of us who are content creators should be, putting the post out there saying, "Hey, yo, this is what a man's supposed to be. This is what a man's supposed to be doing." Because a lot of these boys act just like women. How many? We probably see it on YouTube. You can't challenge a dude's ideology without him wanting to fight you. You think he thinks it's disrespectful because you're disagreeing with him. You know what I'm saying? And they out of nowhere start acting like women. So and then it starts over talking you and all this other stuff. My main thing is that you're absolutely right, and I think that some of the men out here who are in the content creation space should have a voice out here to be saying, "Amen." This is fighting doesn't mean that you're masculine. You know what I mean? Having female tendencies does not mean that you're masculine. Doing this doesn't mean that you're masculine. We should take it upon ourselves to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point on that.
Excuse me, but to address okay. But to address Donnamon's question, when you mean first of all, when you're talking about defending, you have to give the proper context when you mean by defending, okay? Because you have 6 different people that will have 6 different definitions what defending. First of all, if a man starts taking, is taking, saying, remarks about his lady, okay, you can try to correct and say, hey, that's not appropriate, what have you, okay? But then again, and I keep saying the same thing again, if men want women to be submissive to them, they need to be the providers, they need to be the protectors, and what have you. Then women need to fulfill their parts as well. So it's not just the responsibility of the men, it's also the responsibility of the women. And one thing that people don't want to talk about, and it's going to sound a little bit anti-women, but a lot of these women and men too make poor choices when it comes to who they have a relationship with. I mean, and then we have some women who gave up the privilege of granting access to their bodies to these men to carry children. And let's face it, some women don't choose well, some men don't choose well.
Hey, Kichel.
Hi, how you doing? Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
good
hear you.
evening, Kishal.
Good evening, guys. Good to see you all.
All right. So, what's on your mind? Well, what you
I
got
hear
to say
so
about
much. I hear so much going on right now. I wanted to know, like, what was the original main topic? Because I hear it just went in different ways. I hear a lot of conversations. So, what was the original main topic?
No, the original main topic as it was about as to when women are actually supposed to submit to men, and I used that title incomplete. That was kind of like as a bit of a trigger because I know that it will draw kind of like eyes to this live stream, but I understand. I'm well aware that not all men are deserving the whole submission thing, but there are guys that don't deserve the submission, but they're getting it anyway. I mean, but if there was some point of view that you had about it that you want to share with us.
I think for most women, it's just the word submission comes off kind of crazy. I think some people hear the word submission, they take it the wrong way, and that's why there's always a conflict with men and women when it comes to being submissive, because some women take it the wrong way when they hear the term being used. They don't understand it, the way it's meant, or the guy didn't take the chance to explain it the way it's meant. It just comes as you do as I say, not as I do type of thing. And a lot of women, today got a problem with that because women are, in the household by themselves, just like everything you guys are saying. Like, it's not, I don't need a man, but women are not trying to be told what to do depending on what their circumstances are financially and economically. So it depends on who the people are in the relationship, how the communication is running, and what the actually the financial status of the partners are. It does make a difference when the female makes more money versus the man. Sometimes women still be submissive in those situations, and sometimes they don't, because women are doing almost everything a man can do. Not that I agree with everything women are doing or everything women should be doing as far as competing with the man, but that's just the world we live in today, is my opinion. I think even for me to be submissive is kind of hard because I grew up with not much men in my family. I see women do everything: cook, clean, take care of households, build things, do PTA, paint houses, fix cars, go to the army. All the women in my family were masculine in that way. They had those masculine traits. I didn't see men in the house, cooking and cleaning and fixing and, doing daddy daycare and I didn't see that, so I understand how some women can just be, off target or, turned off by the whole word of submission to a man, even if they are married.
No, I mean, no, but what I was referring about the women that should submit are the ones that are more religious, that go to church, read the Bible, because there are passages in the Bible that do say that women are to submit to their husbands and to God and so on. That's what I was referring to. I know that you can't use that verbiage on every woman, because too many women, they get offended really quick, and they start thinking about that's slavery, which is insulting to people that have been slaves for real, because real slavery, it is like real abuse. It's a real crime. So if there is the submission when it comes to accepting the leadership of a significant other, then it shouldn't be seen as slavery, because you get some of the conservative women that they proudly say that they submit to their husbands. Yes, they are more in a more ideal position, because he's more of an affluent guy. So maybe if they have to work, they don't only work part-time or from home, so they are in kind of like a more ideal situation, which is fine. But there are women that don't have a problem admitting that they submit to their husband, and those are the ones that get called the pygmies. Those are the ones that get called the mammies or whatever little stupid little high school insult that comes with it. But yeah, I mean,
Okay, well, I mean, this is a
That's
very
why.
interesting
Excuse me,
topic.
but I'm sorry.
That's what I say. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say this real
Okay.
quick. That's why I say cooperation. Like, I don't say submission, because I know a lot of women, when they think about saying that word, they think about some dude in a wife beater and some dress pants with a beard. Like, didn't I tell you to clean this up? Did I tell you to clean this up? That's what they think. So I'm like, nah, I don't. Or they think like the honeymooners. What was the dude Jackie Gleason on the honeymooners? To the moon, Alice. To the
That's Ralph
moon.
Cramden, right?
Yeah, I think that was I forgot Jackie Gleason's character in there, but
Yeah,
that's what they think.
Ralph
That's why I just say cooperation, because I'm not the type of person where, of course, I'm when I'm in a relationship, I'm not a domineering. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make sure things is handled. You got my back. You meet me halfway with as far as handling everything that need to be handled, whether it be at the home or different things like that. I'm gonna handle the bills, and when it comes to making decisions, I'll definitely take into consideration how you feel on certain decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure I'm making the right decision that's best for both of us when I'm leading the relationship, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Excuse me, but you know something? There's another part, that the other side of the coin, that some of these men that uses that verse of scripture forget to mention, which is, husband, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave his life for the church. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say Keisha was my wife. Okay. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see. Okay, can I at least continue?
Okay.
No, but what I would do is, if Keisha, let's say Keisha was my wife, I will seek her input regarding things that's going to affect the both of us. I'm going to ask for her perspective, okay? She may have more logical reasoning than I do, okay? And therefore, if I love her, I'm going to put, her priorities are going to be very high on my list. So for the men that likes to talk about women be submissive to your wives, okay? The other side of the coin is, love your wives as Christ loved the church, meaning you cannot treat your wife as a slave, whatever, and just expect to do anything without them saying a peep. You seek the advice of the wife, because the wife is a helpmate. The wife is supposed to help you as far as producing a happy household. It takes two people to make a happy household. It takes a husband and a wife to create a happy household. So, and if I want Keisha to cooperate with me, I have to give her a reason for her to cooperate with me.
That's very interesting. So I'm an atheist, you know. So what about people that are religious and not religious in a marriage? How does that work? Just for shits and giggles.
Well, you have to ask Cave that.
Okay, no.
So far, their
Okay.
Or
personality
people
is
of two
good.
different religions, like say someone is Baptist or Catholic, and someone is
That's
I
still
don't know,
Christianity. That's still Christian.
like
So
two complete opposites. Say two complete opposite religions. How does that work with the submission?
I
no,
mean,
well, if they're Christian denominations, I'm sure that something can be worked out. I mean, there are Christian denominations that take it too far, and hence the women that don't shave or they wear the long skirts
That's nasty.
and
I don't like those girls.
they don't shave anywhere, and and they don't wear even just a little hint of makeup. That will be fine, but not even that, and they look kind of frumpy. but yeah, if you're talking about Christian denominations, I'm sure that something can be worked out. If you're talking about some other religion that takes it more extreme, then that's religious and cultural differences, and if the couple cannot overcome those differences, then it's better not to be in that relationship, because it's going to be problems. Yeah.
Yes, me and Denise are atheists. Ow! Sorry not to be disrespectful to no one's religion or culture. I'm pretty sure we don't got a disclaimer for this video, but it's too much pressure, and everything seems to be the same, and we all have our personal reasons why we don't choose.
No, I have my reservations
Okay.
when it comes to religion. I have my own reasons. I mean, so I don't disrespect people's religions, but I don't practice organized religion, but I have my reasons for that. Mhm.
Oh yes, I'm very respectful too. I don't disrespect anyone's religion.
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Well, of course, I have a different take. Sorry.
when it
I
comes
have
to okay,
Yeah, let
different
Jose
take
have a
as
say.
a
Then you go, Armando. Mhm.
all right, got you.
okay. Of course, I have a different take. I consider myself to be a born again Christian, because in certain texts it talks about not being unevenly yoked with non-believers. In other words, people who don't believe what they do. However, if I get into a relationship, I have to take into account everything, not just the fact that whether this person shares my religious views or what have you. Does this person share views that we both can get along with? Okay. You could be an atheist and value loyalty. You could be an agnostic and value being faithful and being true, what have you, and sticking up to your for your spouse. I mean, these are things that get into situation. I've never been with an atheist as far as I can know of. However, if the situation does, I get involved with someone that's an atheist, there's other things that I have to take into consideration. And I don't have a problem with someone who's an atheist. Okay, I respect that person's belief. Why I will hope for is if I have a girlfriend that's an atheist, that she will respect my Christian values.
Respect.
Mhm.
All right, I mean, me personally, I'm a Christian. I used to follow the Anglican beliefs, and I used to go to Catholic church because my aunt was a Catholic. But then after a while, there was certain stuff within the Anglican church that I did not agree with, and I stopped going. So when I was like in my 20s, I did go to a church up in Jersey City by a guy by the name of Pastor Mario. He was a good preacher, but then along those years that I was going to that church, my relationship with my ex started faltering. So then after a while, yeah, I met people from different backgrounds, dated women from different backgrounds, but then after a while, after certain things that bad that had happened in my life, I actually met with my wife, who is now evangelical, and sometimes we do go to church, sometimes we don't. But me and her, we always actually talk about the Bible and such things like that, because there's certain days that I might just want to do something that might be unchristian, but she was like, nah, the Bible doesn't. But she was like, nah.
That's beautiful. Maybe I'll get there one day. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I had to cut off the because there was music blasting in the background. But what I was saying is that there's sometimes that me and my wife, we actually talk about certain stuff about, okay, if it's Christian like or not, if I'm gonna go do this or that or the third. So sometimes I'm just saying in my own aspect, I'm not gonna go around and say, oh, I'm the best or anything like that, because there's still stuff that I have to work on as a human being. So
Okay. Anybody else? Kicho?
I'm just listening. I think it's really interesting. I can relate to some of it, but I can't relate to all of it. But I feel like y'all talking more about these 2023, 2019 new generation women. This conversation is not about women of morals and character and values. These are
Hmm.
about the women that are straight chasing a bag. These are about women that are selfish, gold diggers, whatever you want to call them. These are not about women who are looking to build with men, for the right reasons.
Oh yeah. They're chasing our bag, but they're chasing that bag inside of a man's wallet. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. That's usually what that means. I mean, now is there's somebody who are actually having some type of a grind. They have their own business or whatever, and they're getting on their own. I totally respect that. I totally respect that. But those women are usually the ones that have that boss bitch mentality, and a man who is masculine don't want to have to feel like they're trying to date another man, because that's kind of like masculine energy. I mean, it's really very simple. It's just that with certain women, you try to explain that to them, and they don't want to get it. They don't want to understand it. But the concept is actually very simple.
And it's unfortunate that these girls get all the attention from the guys. They're the ones with the fake bodies and on Instagram with all these followers. It don't work. They get all this attention. These girls, not the good girls like me, but these girls we talking about right here.
I'm sure you get attention. Don't tell me. Don't give me that. I'm
But no,
sure.
ain't nobody trying to fly me across the country, buy me furs, mates, and red bottoms. These girls is doing, what I'm saying, got stacks of money in their hand, bigger than they doggone face and stuff like that. I don't know what they doing, but I
uh,
ain't willing to do it.
But you want a
all right,
future. You want a future or something.
all right, but Kishel, I got
Nah,
one thing. I got one thing to say. Those men might be rich, right? But are they wealthy? The,
absolutely
re-
not.
the reason why I say that is because a person could be rich today, he could be poor tomorrow. So therefore, if a person don't know how to maintain wealth, is he always going to be rich? That's what a lot of people is not thinking about.
Very true. Facts. That's facts.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
but the rich
Um,
guys, they're reaching. They may reaching wealth and reaching options too. Those guys do have options.
mhm.
Yep, they sure do. They got a
um,
whole bunch lined up. Wait for the next one. Like, all right, I'm next.
Yeah.
mhm. Well, later tonight at 9:30, I'm going to be doing a stream talking about the myths regarding American women. So hopefully some of you will at least chime in, and particularly the ladies. Basically, what I'm going to try to do is dismiss some of the myths that regarding American women, because sometimes American women can get a bad rap.
Okay.
I
Hey.
feel that.
Well, I mean, but if
America has
they're
a bad
getting
rap. Not even just American women. It's America, period. Let's be honest.
well, I mean, it depends on which angle you want to. If we're talking about kind of like the popular culture or the foreign policy, that we can look at it from
We
different
can go on
angles.
and on with that. Yeah, there's many angles to that
Yeah,
too.
yeah, there are kind of different ways. I mean, the popular culture or what is being exported to around the world that is being criticized, or maybe it's not seen as kind of like the best thing for certain other countries, or in the movies, certain movies that get banned, they don't air them, or they have to be edited because there's so many movies that are trying to push the certain lifestyle agenda that is being rejected in other parts of the world, and these movie studios don't understand that it's only going to cost them money. I mean, they need to stop doing that. They need to tell stories in their movies, but they need to stop pushing agendas and pushing identity politics or whatever it is that they want to call it.
I feel like all they're doing is making Marvel movies and DC movies, all these old comic book movies. Like they ran out of ideas. Like all they're doing is remakes of old things that happened already. They ran out of ideas at this point.
Okay, with all of the remakes, yeah, most of the remakes tend to be like garbage. They don't. It's like you want to
I
go
agree.
a couple of decades back when it comes to filmmaking, movies, and they used to do that better. These days, there are many shows, something that you can watch on Netflix that can be actually decent. But when it comes to movies, it's very hard to pick anything good because there's so much stuff that comes out of Hollywood. It's garbage and it's pushing agendas, and I avoid that. I hate that.
Talking about movies, has anybody seen that new movie called Cocaine Bear?
I've heard about it.
No.
I understand that it's based on something that actually happened. I can't imagine what that bear went through and how aggressive it must have gotten, because cocaine is a stimulant, and a bear already is very powerful and it can tear your ass up. I mean, I don't want to imagine a bear on cocaine. How dangerous that shit is gonna be if
No.
it doesn't kill him. If it doesn't kill it, I mean, because it ingested kind of like breaks of cocaine, like a couple of breaks of cocaine, and it went on a rampage, something like that. I haven't seen it, but I understand that it's something that actually happened, which makes it even crazier.
I want to see that Quantum Leap thing that Marvel movie though, and I ain't gonna lie, I do want to see that one. The one where everyone's in there. I think it just came out a couple of days ago. I think with Doctor Strange and everybody.
Okay. Yeah, but I imagine, I figure that the poor thing died because of that, because apparently some traffickers dropped some cocaine from the air and ended up where there was a bear, and the bear ingested some of it, and it may have killed it. Okay, the movie's fiction or just based on a real story? Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sure.
Well,
Man.
Jose, I'm definitely gonna try to make your stream tonight. I gotta just check my daughter's homework, and I'll definitely try to check in.
Yeah, I'll
Thank
check it
you.
out. I'll check it out too. I'm not gonna be up here that much longer. But hey, I wanna give a shout out to the people in the chat, and to the people that are watching. Please try and make sure that you hit the
Oh,
like,
okay, bro.
make
Boom.
sure that it reaches more people. Um, and like we were saying, you were saying something about another movie, something like that. Okay. Yeah, but there is that agenda. There is that agenda when it comes to pushing that on society and normalizing certain things, and how the whole agenda when it comes to gender confusion, which is very tiresome to keep hearing about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crawl out of my whole frown? What do you mean? What's that about? What's that about? Blood
Um,
moon. Crawl out of my
you know
whole frown.
what?
I don't know what you.
You
I
know
don't know
what,
what.
Ramon? There's some things it's best to leave alone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That didn't sound right. All right.
But it was an interesting topic,
Mhm.
and it's funny because March is Women's History Month.
March, yeah, March is also my birth month. So yeah,
Okay.
she always called me a
Yes.
fraud. But guess what? I showed my evidence. It's just her that she wants to be a gaslighter. She knows the truth. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Let's say that blood moon is just gaslighting. Don't acknowledge it. Don't give it power.
I don't, because she don't exist. She don't even have a profile pic. That's how you know she broke.
Okay.
Wow. All I'm gonna say is to each one's own.
Hey, Kichel. I see your message. You can hit the link. You can come back if you like. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know what I pressed. I was trying to look at the YouTube
Yeah.
and this, and then I end up exiting this by mistake.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I got you. No problem. Hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, stop touching stuff.
Yeah. Stop
It
hitting the wrong
happens. It
button.
happens.
Yeah.
But no joke. I sometime next month I plan to get a new computer. See if that takes care of the delay, because all these different episodes with the Wi-Fi and the slow and the delay with what have you. It could be a little bit embarrassing at times.
But do you think that that's your equipment, or is it the service provider?
I think it's more the equipment, because it's like I've done everything I could to increase the speed, the internet speed.
Okay.
All right, yeah, all right, but like in Parchester, sometimes it's just the area, because the area sucks. I could tell you
Oh.
that. When
Okay.
it comes, yeah, because whenever I go to some of my family members' house up in Parchester and everything like that, they complain about the same thing all the time. It just depends on which location you are in Parchester.
Oh, okay. Apparently, the infrastructure is not that well built for it. Okay. Guys, I want to let
Okay.
y'all know that my mom's results, the cancer is reacting to the chemo, and
Well, do
tumors
whatever
are
you
shrinking.
feel you need to,
Okay,
Jose. If
hey.
anything, maybe you need to just, maybe do a satellite on different
Yay!
TV. Maybe.
Great news.
Hey, yes, I wanna acknowledge what Denise just put in the chat, guys. I want to let y'all know that my mom's results came back. The cancer is reacting to the chemo, and tumors are shrinking. That's great news, Denise. That's
That's great
great
news.
news. That's
Congratulations.
Yeah, that
excellent.
is good news.
Yes. Let's hope that it keeps going like that, and
Yeah,
that the
that's
negative impact of the chemo is as minimal as possible, because I have seen the impact of it. I saw. I still remember. This was 30 years ago, but I still remember what it did to my grandma, because she had to do the chemo. Unfortunately, well, she didn't survive it.
Sorry for your loss.
Ah, thanks.
Well,
Yeah, Cancer
Denise,
got my
just mention
grandma
a
too
note
in
that I'm going to keep
1993.
you and the
Okay, what was that? One at a time, please.
Denise, I just want to let you know I'm continuing to keep you and your mom and your family in my prayers.
Mhm.
Amen.
Yeah, Kichel, you were saying something at the same time. I didn't hear.
Oh yeah, I was just saying Cancer got my grandmother in 1993. So Cancer, it gets the best of them. It gets the good ones all the time.
Yeah. My grandma was kind of like in the first days of '91. That's when she transitioned. Yeah.
Well, I have a 91-year-old grandmother on my dad's side right now. She just called me the other day. She's in a rehab trying to strengthen her legs, and she said, "I want to go home." And I said, "Oh, Grandma, you calling me? I feel so special. Of all the grandkids, you call me. I feel so special." I'm like, I gotta call my grandmother more. She up here calling me. She heard. I don't know. She heard. I don't know what happened. I feel so guilty.
Okay. Oh, bendito. No, but let's hope that she does okay. I mean, 91 years old. She's going. She might be having an ailment, but she's still strong. I mean, she seems like she has still a sharp mind, which is very
Yeah, her
important.
mind is still good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that the cancer has not continued to spread nor grow further, and she will qualify soon for liver resection, which will buy her years with us. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's like
But
technology today is so much better than it was in the past. So, people now living with cancer has, more options and chances than people, 2, 3 decades ago, 4 decades ago. So
mm-hmm,
that's a blessing.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah. You see, now you got me thinking about my mom and my grandma. Now you got me thinking about about them because I don't have them anymore. But yeah,
Well, in
hopefully.
lighter notes, I
Mhm.
am doing a stream on cheating, why men cheat this weekend, and I'm gonna do an open panel the following week, and probably this weekend and next week, and kind of relates to what you're talking about these little scandalous women out here.
Ah, yeah. You were talking about that the recently. That was your subject last time when you were doing a stream, right?
Yeah, it was about why women cheated the last time when you showed up, but I'm gonna do
Yeah,
it more about men
yeah.
now. Same thing. Yep.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. That's a topic that can be that can be in parts, different live streams about it because it can be different reasons. I mean, different situations with different women, different results, different. I mean, ways to handle it.
It could
Uh,
be for citizenship. You never know what happens out here in these
yeah,
streets.
yeah.
And in
No,
today's
you're
technology
gonna.
world, everyone's micro
Uh,
satisfied.
got drop off.
Okay, okay. Well, what was that, Jose?
Guys, I'm gonna drop off because I'm getting ready for my stream at 9:30. So
Okay.
hopefully at least some of you will think about if not joining the panel, at least getting expressing your point of view. And I would appreciate the ladies to express their point of view regarding the topic, myths regarding American women. So basically, I'm just going to try to separate the myths and sometimes American women have given a bad name, and some of them it's
Mhm.
undeserved.
Okay. Yeah. Jose is gonna swoop in with the cape on for the American woman. You're gonna defend her. Yeah, Jose's gonna be wearing the cape for her. All right. You're at the edge of your
Ah,
chair.
no, but separate the truth from fiction.
Yeah, okay.
But in any case, before I go, God, subscribe to the Intro Boricua, Don Mamando, Keisha, and of course, Latin Spinning with Denise Gonzalez. And if you can, please show some love to me and subscribe to Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Tomorrow, I'm going to launch the relaunch of my new channel called Latina Diaspora, where I will be talking about issues that pertain to us mainland Latinos. So basically, I'm just going to have a quick, informal chat regarding what I'm going to do and what I hope the gang will, do with the new channel. So that being said, thanks for Ramon, for allowing me on your platform, guys. As always, it's a real pleasure to talk with you, and a huge shout out to everyone that's on the chat. So that being said, have a good night, guys, and please be safe out there.
Thanks for coming up,
Good night.
Jose. And
Bye.
and to the people, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And sign on, hit the subscribe button, because he comes out with uploads and content more regularly than I do. So yeah, check him out. Thanks for coming up.
Bye, Jose.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Okay. Blama, what do you mean? Change the topic to what? Change the topic to what? I mean, I'm not gonna be on too much longer because there is something I have to take care of. Also, I want to check out the Jose's stream. But well, you had a question or something? Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to have a stream tomorrow, so anybody's on at 8 p.m. So anybody's willing to come through and everything. And then I had a stream yesterday. It was very interesting. So I hope y'all could watch it on playback and such.
I'm gonna definitely
okay.
look for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check out for that. Subscribe to both of your channels, and I'll be checking out for you guys. So, I think I might start wrapping up. Unless you guys there was something else that you wanted to add to the topic before we wrap up.
These hoes is different. That's all I can say. They're not from my generation. I don't relate to these hoes. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
No. I mean, no. I mean, unfortunately, in the social media era that we're with, they get a lot of exposure, and for some of them, they're getting profits out of the exposure. Some of them are short term. Many are short term. If those that can extend it to long term to make it last and all of that, okay, that's fine. Nobody can stop them. But what is it that they are sacrificing in exchange of it, of the exposure and the notoriety? Maybe that comes with a little money. But what is it that they are sacrificing in turn? And if these women, like Rakim was saying earlier, if they already have offspring, and they are submitting them to that situation where people know who their moms are and they are getting harassed and bullied about it, I feel for these kids. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that has to happen, but definitely, Kichel, you are one of the good ones. We love you. You stay who you are. Don't be. I know that you are okay. You're not all that at all, but you're an adult. So stay adult and then stay with your cool self.
Absolutely. I got kids out here. I can't have them seeing videos of me that I wish I can delete that's out there forever. So trust me, my dad be telling me, "You're a mom." I'm like, all right, I know I'm a mom. I know. I look good though.
Some of the women that they forget that they're moms. I mean, they give the kids to the grandma or whatever, and they went out on the streets still. I mean, they're like they haven't learned a lesson. Yeah.
I was not that fortunate. My mother and my child's father's mother did not let me and him play in the streets. He was like, y'all going to school, y'all going to work, y'all coming to fuck back home. We are not babysitting all night, all day. We ain't letting y'all have y'all teenage years. They was strict with us with my first, and with my second, I was 27. So at the end of the
Mhm.
day, it's like, I didn't have that free, lane to just rip the streets. So it's like I feel like I caught up in my 20s or whatever the case is in my 30s because I didn't have that free liberty to just drop my kid off and be out with my friends. That was not my situation at all.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So, any final words?
Thank you for inviting me on your stream. It's always a great time. I'm trying to be more consistent with lives, other people's lives, my lives. I love the topic. You should definitely do a part 2. I love being on the panel with everyone I know, like Jose and Don and the chat. I feel like I know everyone in the chat, so it feels like home here. So thanks for having me. I'm gonna have a wine and FaceTime this Saturday. Why Men Cheat? Please pop in or jump in the chat if you can. If not, all good. And thank you so much. Hope everyone has a great night.
Yeah. Thanks for coming up. I'm gonna be looking out for it. So we're gonna be talking again soon.
No problem, Ramon. Have a great one. Good night, Don.
You too. You too. Have a good one.
Hey, good night.
Armando.
Yeah,
You're Dominican, right? You're Dominican. You're Dominican.
you damn right.
Because I see that we're being questioned so much. No, I
To,
mean,
to,
I know.
to
It's
me,
just,
it's this, right?
uh-huh.
I mean, I'm gonna be questioned for the rest of my life. I've been questioned ever since I was 16. So therefore, if I've been repping the Dominican flag ever since I was 16, ever since that, my pops went up and took me to the Dominican parades. You think I'm gonna go around and be lying about my name, my how shall I say, my ethnicity for what? For clout? I mean, it's funny because Blood Moon been saying this for all the time, but once she never showed her face. Like, come
Yeah.
on. I was in both Dominican parades this year. I was up in the Bronx Dominican parade with Don Jose. I was in the Dominican parade with Fighter. Where the heck you were at? Straight
Yeah.
up. Oh, I'm so much a fraud. What's your real name? Please. I ain't gonna go around and give anything to a person that don't like to show their face. What, do I have to go around and show my birth certificate? Do I have to go and show my pops and my mom's entry papers? Who the heck are you, Blood Moon? Are you INS? Are you ICE? Or you're just somebody who's just some miserable troll? Like, let's be serious. You don't show your face. So how the heck you gonna go and say I know everything, and then going to try to call my wife Egyptian? She's bugging.
Okay,
You
Blood,
gotta
but you do understand that today's modern day Egyptians are usually Arabs, right? I mean,
exactly, and my wife doesn't fit that. So
and I have met a couple of them, and they're Arabs. They're like white people with black hair. I mean, many Egyptians today, many modern day Egyptians, that's what they look like. They're like black hair with white skin, but they're of the Middle Eastern variety.
I
Yeah,
mean, at the end of the day, I've met real Egyptians too, and they don't look like my wife.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have met a couple of kind of like um if they come people that come from North Africa, from the North African region. I mean, they're not like melanated like that. Many of them, and I have met a few. I have met a Moroccan. I have met an Egyptian. I have met um, there are like Tunisians and other North Africans, and notice that they are not necessarily what they call sub-Saharan. The complexion tends to be a little different. They pass more for like a light skinned East Indian. They have a kind of like a look like that. Yeah. Okay. but Blood Moon, we already mentioned that there is there is not one look for being Egyptian. There are many Egyptians that are Arab. And Dennis is asking, what is your wife from? Ah, okay, you put it in the chat. Nah. Blood Moon is just messing with you. Don't 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 let her bother you. She's just messing with you.
She's just an ignorant troll that blocked me, but she's just mad that I got a second account. Guess what? I mean, at the end of the day, she could say whatever, but at the end of the day, let's be honest. She ain't gonna go around and meet a person. She could go and say all that stuff she wants. But I do have a theory on who Blood Moon is. I say I have a theory because there are two women who are like on TikTok and Facebook that sound just like her. I mean, with her rhetoric. But then again, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay,
Nice.
well, guess what? My wife doesn't subscribe to that.
Okay, so there are Egyptians in the Heights, as in Washington Heights.
Okay, if there are Egyptians in Washington Heights, isn't most of the Aki stores ran by Yemenis?
Okay.
Yeah, that is true. That Mexicans been moving to Washington Heights. I was just up in, it was like maybe 5 or 6 months ago. Me and my wife, we was actually up in 191st at some Mexican restaurant. So yeah, there's a lot of Mexicans moving into the Heights.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't know that you have a kind of like an expanding number of Egyptians in.
Yeah, but then before that, before anything, the Jews used to occupy Washington Heights before the Dominicans came in.
I understand that before the Dominicans there were Puerto Ricans in the Heights.
There were, and then there were Cubans too, from my knowledge, and then but then like this one section of the Heights that I believe that there was mostly Jewish. That's where Ron Perlman's from. He's actually from Washington Heights.
Ah, yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, but guess what? You don't know my history, right? Yeah. That's what happened.
No, that's fine. Blood Moon. I'm not from there, so I was asking. Oh man.
Yeah, but Ramon, I'm gonna be going to Dominican Republic in March, so I might do 1 or 2 videos, or I might just post some TikTok videos on my own page. I can't.
Yeah, I would like to go too because I have friends in Santo Domingo, so I would like to eventually go there and being able to disconnect and unwind from the bullshit. Because right now I don't even want to go. I don't even want to go home right now because right now it's only reminded me of one thing, of my loss. So yeah, I would like to go somewhere else when I have a chance. Yeah, when I use my passport. Sometime during this year.
I mean, you could actually take a cruise to the Bahamas. That's what I did last year.
Yeah. That's something to think about. That's something to consider. Yeah. Yeah, Armando, I think I'm gonna be wrapping up. Any final words? Anything else? anything final that you want to share with us?
Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, when you actually look at relationships and everything,
Mm-hmm.
the core thing is that men and women need to respect each other. And since gender roles are being warped right now,
Yeah.
it's to the point that some women, they think they're gonna overpower a man, and some men, they're not gonna let that happen. And but at the end of the day, if a man and a woman cannot come into a place of respect, then most relationships are going to fail. I've seen this happen time and time and again.
All that we can do is kind of like establish that at the home when it comes to what is more natural for one person and what is more natural for the other person. So yeah, starts at the home, and I agree. All that we can do is kind of like having that cooperation going on. Notice that I said cooperation, I didn't say submission. Okay, you guys are arguing now. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up. So that was it. Anything else that you wanna say before I end this?
Now I'm good.
All right. So I'm gonna be stepping out, and I appreciate you coming up. Also, I want to give a shout out to the people in the chat that you guys are arguing, going back and forth. Stop arguing. Come on, we're Hispanics. I mean, we have our differences, but we shouldn't be going at each other's neck like that. Come on now. Let me see what is it that you got here. I love my dumplings. I haven't had dumplings in a long time. Hand purple. Oh, okay, peace. You too, Bloodman. More like Jerry Springer. Jerry. Yeah, I remember those times. That was a shit show, but it was entertaining as hell, and it had the ratings too. Let me see what else do we have. Mario Bloodman is scared to debate me on my channel. Well, the Bloodman barely goes on panels. She's more of a listener. Good night, Cubana. Have a good one, chica. All right. Doing research online is pathetic. You and I are Hispanics. Eso es puro. Hey. Come on now. Our guy Armando, he has a Dominican parent. He can claim that. And she was her ignorance of her asleep. Nah, Armando, she's just playing with you. She's just messing with you. I went on with you and made you cry. Stop. Okay, look at Dennis. Si no fuera por estos ratitos, Denis, ¿verdad? Okay. Oh, yeah, me too. My mom passed, and I have barely been able to recover from it. Peace, Denise. Tenga buenas noches. Stop. Faceless Astro. Yeah, Kichel, I'm about to close up. It's just that I'm looking at the chat. You guys are making me laugh here. I am not. His father is Creole. Siempre mete la pata cuando habla mucho. His father is Creole. Soy Robles de Ingenio Consuelo. Sí, y los días 15, claro que sí. Claro que sí, los días de cobro. Quiero ver una foto de la tumba de mi padre. Armando, tú no le tienes que probar nada a nadie. Si tú estás claro, Si tú estás claro cuál es tu descendencia, no tienes que demostrarle nada a nadie. Y mi abuelo, mis primos y tíos. Look at her, she can't even prove that my name ain't Robles. Stealing fighters' life? What do you mean? Succeed several seeds. You Chewbacca stick. Armando, what the hell? So how I know fighters causing them? Well, it is my understanding that you two guys did meet. I wish I knew Spanish. Okay, have you been in New York all your life, and you're telling me that you haven't picked up any Spanish? Come on. Not knowing any Spanish in New York is almost like not knowing any Spanish in Miami or something. How about Google Translate this chat? Well, something's gonna be lost in translation because I mean you're counting on a program to do translation, so I don't know how accurate the translation is gonna be. Fighter mentioned him and you fed off his information. Okay. One day we gotta let Don and Bloodmon go at it hard. Yes. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. All your life in New York and you didn't pick up any Spanish? Stop. There are whole parts of New York, from what I understand, where you don't really have to speak English. Everybody speaks Spanish. There is this girl who is a content creator who I follow, that she's a polyglot, and she was saying that when she visited, she's from Europe, but she was telling that when she visited New York City, in the neighborhood that she was in, she never had to speak English because she was around Spanish speaking people all the time. And that's like her favorite language because that's not her first language. What does not going to Dominican parties have to do with being Dominican? Saying Denise and Ramon are only Puerto Ricans because they are. Okay. Americans don't learn Spanish that easily. Whites actually take it in school long term. Yeah. No. It's English everywhere here everywhere in NYC. All right. Fighters Council and I met in San Pedro party in Dykeman. Oh. So I will be in a Spanish party if I'm no Spanish. All right. If I'm lying, why Okay, you guys are not gonna be. You're not gonna end this argument anytime soon. All right, I'm gonna end the broadcast. I think Jose is about to go live, so check him out. Anybody else who is listening who might not be so familiar with Jose, that will be Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Check out his live stream that it should be starting right about now. So, guys, in the chat, I appreciate you listening, and for those that came up on the panel, I also appreciate you guys. And until next time, I'm hoping that I can do a live stream soon. And I see Stina, I thought that you had logged off, that you were listening to something else. You could have come up on on the panel. I know. What is it that I was always telling you? I know that you don't grace us with your presence like that because, well, you are kind of like the celebrity. So hopefully we can get you to come on the panel for the next one, and maybe you could do your own live stream. You haven't done one in a long time. So until next time, guys, I appreciate you being still on the chat, arguing, even if that's what it is. So until next time, have a good one, guys. Peace.